So we're going to be talking about the sacred secretion. I know Thursday I said we were going to do revelation, but we're actually going to do that in a couple weeks. Thank you for the divine fingers, because it's about to be the start of a new month, and I'll be putting out a new sacred secretion calendar, and I have come into some more information about when women should honor their sacred secretion versus men. So like what I have always taught about the moon entering your sidereal sun sign is true for men, but may not be true for women. So I'm still doing research on this. Obviously I have to put these things into testing myself as well. So we're going to be talking about how to track the woman's cycle with their sacred secretion. So hello, stained glass. How are you? Satan killed no one in the Bible, but it says God unalived over 2 million people. Is that true? Well, that's not God. So the God of the Old Testament is not the Father that Jesus revealed. That actually is Satan. So I do have content that goes with that idea of Yahweh being the God of this world, aka Satan, because basically it represents how instead of being created in God's image, man created God in their image. So like God never delighted in blood sacrifice, virgins, gold. That was their delights, and they projected that onto their God. So I hope that makes sense. But basically it's an evolution process. You can see from the Old Testament to the New Testament, kind of like our consciousness. We go from ego consciousness to unity consciousness. So the jealous, envious, egotistical God, right? All about self, to unity, non-dualism, as Jesus taught. Okay, so thank y'all for all the likes. Thank you so much for tapping the screen. If y'all don't mind sending the daily heart me and reposting, sharing the live, that helps boost the algorithm. We're going to be talking about the sacred secretion. So in particular, I want to go over the women's cycle, because I came into some new information and I may have been teaching the women wrong. Sorry about that. So the men definitely still follow the moon entering your sun sign. So every month, this is a natural process that occurs within the body. I guess we could go over the process real quick first. But basically, there is a ointment or anointing, the oil Christos released, okay, each month. And if you harness this oil and not squander it and raise it back up to the pineal, you become enlightened. And so I just want to go over some key things about the process, and then also the women's cycle and how they should honor their sacred secretion. Hello, Tracy, Grand Rising. And I'm doing a little bit different setup today, so hopefully this works better with me reading my notes. I'm even ordering a new contraption, a light and stand, so hopefully, because I'm kind of making do with what I have today. And anyways, we'll have some new lighting and stuff the next time I see y'all. So the sacred secretion and Kundalini cycle. So this is an inner alchemical, process connected to the nervous system, hormonal rhythms, light exposure, the pineal pituitary glands, and the body's natural biological cycles. The purpose of the practice is not supernatural powers, but nervous system regulation, inner peace, health, emotional balance, and becoming the best version of yourself. Hey Brian, thank you for all the shares. I appreciate you. Tracy, you said, my friend told me my eye is way open based on her knowledge of my abilities. Do you think that is true? I don't know, because I don't have the knowledge of your abilities, but I'm sure it is. I mean, if you're hearing this live and you've been honoring your sacred secretion, your third eye is probably open and activated. But yeah. Let me continue. So the nervous system is the foundation of the process. So practices like meditation, fasting, stretching, exercise, breath work, and proper rest help create the conditions for the body to enter a more coherent state. Did light or dark form first? Are we from the dark if it was first? Is light a thing for our two eyes? Well, I don't know. It says the spirit hovered over the waters in the beginning, spirit being light, the waters being the dark void, feminine. So masculine and feminine, I believe they were together in the beginning. Okay. So women should not follow the moon in your sun method used by men. Instead, women's sacred secretion cycle is tied more directly to ovulation, menstruation, and the lunar phase they were born under. So men operate more on the solar rhythm. Women operate more on the lunar rhythm. The two that started it all around the land to tell their story, you cannot get the story from her. What? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Isis. So while men may track when the moon enters their birth sun sign, women should focus on the ovulation, menstrual rhythm, and the moon phase they were born under. Okay? So during ovulation and menstruation, women should take care of themselves, conserve energy, avoid excessive depletion, and allow the body's energy to flow inward rather than constantly outward. So this is helping the body recycle energy, regulate hormones, and support nervous system coherence. We come from and return to the infinite possibilities, the void. Yeah, or spirit. Yep. Okay. If you're menopausal, women can work with the moon phase they were born under. So if you were born under a full moon, that becomes your primary cycle window. If you're born under a new moon, the new moon becomes your primary cycle window. And so I actually tested this theory and went back to my birthday, the moon phase of my birthday, and the moon phase of my Kundalini awakening, my second one, because I don't know the date of my first one. I don't remember it. So it lines up. It's within 2 days. So I was born on a 2-day-old moon, and my Kundalini was in a new moon. So that was like only 2 days. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I gotta let my dog in. She keeps scratching at the door. Come on. Come on, come on. Come again. Dean, are you coming? Alright. Sorry. I got a lot of dogs and they want in and out constantly, so is the secretion a liquid? It's an essence and it's both energetic, and it's a oil. Well, they call it an oil, but it's melatonin, which is a honey-like substance, and oxytocin, which is a milky-like substance. So this is the land flowing with milk and honey. It's the pituitary and the pineal gland. Risen says, what are you talking about? The sacred secretion. So, thank you for the follow, Osvaldo. Grand Rising, empathetic. How are you? Christos oil, right. So, the core idea behind the practice is that basically your body runs on cyclical rhythms and light affects this. And the sacred secretion is a combination of multiple biological systems working together. The pineal gland, the pituitary, spinal fluid, lymphatic system, solar plexus, and nervous system into one larger inner alchemical process. So balance is important, proper pH balance, staying like not just all alkaline or all, obviously you don't want to be acidic. Thank you for the heartbeat. But having balance in there and grounding spiritually and physically to help the nervous system regulation. Grand Rising TW, good to see you. And Tizzle, hey girl. Thank you for the heart me, Tizzle. How long should I retain my seed in order for it to activate Kundalini? Everybody's going to be different, honestly. So whatever you feel comfortable with, you know, whatever, like for this window of your sacred secretion each month, I would suggest, if you're a man, I'm sorry, let me see your name. I'm not sure. If you're a man, the full time that the moon is in your sun sign, which is 2.5 to 3 days. And if you want to extend that, maybe a day before and a day after, just to be safe. And for women, I would say, since we're going to be following ovulation, I'm just going to say at least 2 to 3 days before and after your ovulation day. And also, if you're menopausal and you're following the moon phase, then 2 to 3 days before or after the moon phase on the day you were born. Snakes are good spirits. If you're having dreams on snakes, that's a good thing. I have had dreams on snakes. Yes, that is a good thing. That is the Kundalini. That is the healing energy. That is the divine feminine. So much. Okay. For me, it was around 10 days. LOL. Good, good. Yeah. So, for me, it was years. You know, so. Well, actually, for my first one, it was like a month. And then for my second one, it was years. So. Women, 2 to 3 days before moon phase, born on. Have no. Yes. If you have no periods, yeah. So, 2 to 3 days before and after the moon phase you were born on. Okay, so the biggest takeaway basically for women is to align your sacred secretion practice more with your natural menstrual and ovulation cycles rather than simply following astrological sun sign timing. Which, you know, so my second Kundalini, I actually went back, and for some reason, even though I swore it was during my sidereal sun sign, when I looked back on Stellarium, it didn't line up. But what I was using was Deluxe Moon app at the time. And I don't think it's very accurate, especially when you're looking at that. I don't know if y'all are familiar, but there's like this wheel of tropical, sidereal, and then astronomical cycles of the moon. And so I thought it was doing it right. And apparently it wasn't. So I went back on Stellarium, and the moon was actually in Virgo. So I'm not a Virgo in sidereal or tropical. So it was very close to my moon phase though, just 2 days off. So that's what I would suggest following based on this new information I've come into 3 to 4 days before and after moon phase born on. Yeah. Is there a word for people who eat with their eye? What? Are you talking about like sun gazing? Breatharians? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Rora. Okay. And so there is some ancient Greek connection between menstruation and the moon. So ancient Greeks directly linked menstruation with lunar cycles. Menstruation comes from the roots connected to moon. Greek is mene for moon. Latin mensis means month or moon cycle. So the ancient Greek physicians believed women's cycles mirrored the moon's rhythm. And then in Jewish mysticism, we see women and the moon are deeply linked. The normal menstrual cycle of a woman is 30 days, similar to the cycle of the moon. That's in Kabbalistic sources. And let's see. The Rosh Chodesh, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but that's new moon observance. Women-centered lunar rituals were also in Jewish traditions. Menstrual purification practices. So, sidereal signs, not tropical. So, right, if you're a man. So, men follow your sidereal sun sign or tropical. If you feel led to do tropical, you know, because now that I'm looking back and I see that my timing was not as I thought it was, I need to go back to my messenger, because I was speaking with my friend at the time and we were tracking it using that deluxe moon or whatever. And I really need to go back to September 2023 and see what because I know I was like, okay, well, I'm going to extend it so that I can go from my sidereal sun sign to my tropical, and because I was on a 6-day water fast, so I was extending it. So it's just weird that now that I look back on Stellarium, there's a reason for everything, I swear. And I'm coming into a lot more information on the women's cycle. I don't know if y'all have heard of the book Wild Power, but I'm reading that right now and it's super powerful. So in ancient Hindu, there's also a lot of links with women's reproductive cycles and the moon. And tantric traditions as well, sexual energy, Kundalini. Okay, the moon ovulation link. So the menstrual cycle is approximately 29 days, resembled the lunar cycle, approximately 29 and a half days. So let me go down to the connection between women's cycles, the moon, nervous system regulation, Kundalini energy, and what modern people refer to as the sacred secretion. This is not medical advice. This is spiritual, symbolic, historical, and esoteric research. Okay? The real purpose of spiritual awakening was never about becoming special. It was about becoming whole. Or as I like to say, coming back home to homeostasis. The real alchemy is inner peace, nervous system regulation, emotional balance, embodiment, healing, connection to God, connection to nature, and connection to yourself. Let me scroll up and see if I missed anything. Sorry. I like to read all the comments. Yeah, I had mine in my tropical sun sign, I believe. A genuine line with both tropical and sidereal. So that's cool. Like, I'm at least like you can track yours to one of them, because now that I look back on mine, it was neither. And then I reached out to somebody, the person whose video this information was in, and I trust him because he's done a lot of work with women and tested these theories. He said you can have a Kundalini anytime. But that's not the same as the inner alchemical process of the sacred secretion. So I thought that sacred secretion was this monthly inner alchemy, right? And if you do it properly, it can lead to a Kundalini awakening. But so he's saying that it doesn't matter. You can have a Kundalini anytime. So I'm kind of confused on what even happened to me, really, honestly. Why have kids if there's such a... What? God fell in love with a man, the original father, different timeline. What? I'm confused. Will that make it easier for you ladies to rise the energy up? Following your ovulation and moon phase, this is what I'm thinking. So I'm still putting this to the test. Like this, I've just started incorporating this as well. I feel like it's a prime time, but yes, you can do it anytime, I think. I do not have my periods. Sorry, just got here. So if you don't have a period, then you want to follow the moon phase when you were born, if you're a woman. So if you were born on a new moon and you want to go about 2 to 3 days on either side of that. So would you agree that Kundalini is the lion serpent in the garden? No. Not that it's a lion serpent. Actually, the one that lied was the Lord God, Yahweh. He lied and said they would surely die. The Kundalini is the coiled energy at the base of the spine that brings enlightenment. So partaking of the fruit of the tree of life is the sacred seed born in the solar plexus. The serpent was the healing energy, the life force energy. Yeah, Yahweh is the demiurge. Yes, Amber. Yaldabaoth, Satan, however you want to look at it. He was the deceiver from the beginning. Which caused the fall? No. So it's all mixed up, okay? The serpent is the only one who told the truth in the garden. Exactly. And Jesus says he caused them to eat of the fruit. So he was the serpent. He's revealing that in the secret book of John. What is death according to the Bible? Depends on what. There's several types of death. There's a spiritual death. There's a physical death. Darn, what's my... Everything is inverted, exactly. So why I'm 37 years old, just learning the archangels hang out with demons. I'm not sure what you're talking about. So angels and demons, and they're more like archetypes. They're like thought forms. Like they're multidimensional beings, but that's because they exist on the mental plane. So they're like energetic thought forms. Why don't you listen and follow? Women should not teach, because that wasn't written to us. That was written to a specific church at a specific time in history. That's not true for us today. Oh wow, that makes me want to jump back into my Bible. You gave up wanting a husband? I guess. I don't really care either way. Like, honestly, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but Uriel holds the key to the gate of Totara, hell. There is no hell. So heaven and hell are a state of consciousness. Okay, what death did Adam and Eve go through? Which one? So they experienced an ego death. Mother Mary is also a very potent archetype. Oh yeah. All the gods and goddesses and all the saints, all the ascended masters, all the prophets. Very important. Hey, hello, Matt. How are you? Good to see you. Grand Rising, glad you're here. God is a woman, but power doesn't matter to God, only love. Morons saying women shouldn't preach, they're smarter than us is why anyone would say that. Right. The ego death. Yes, the death of the false self, your lower consciousness, fleshly desires, unbalanced ego, all your shadows. Just so the real God was the serpent, and that way Yahweh tried to keep Adam and Eve from it. Yes. The real Trinity is mother, daughter, son. Well, I see it as mother, father, son, and daughter. Like the Christ consciousness is both the Sophia and Christos consciousness that's birthed from the divine feminine and masculine when they're balanced within you. Okay, where was I? So ancient cultures understood something we've forgotten. The body operates in cycles. The moon moves in cycles, tides move in cycles, the seasons move in cycles, and women move in cycles. And ancient civilizations deeply connected women to lunar rhythms. We talked about that a little bit already. And the ancients noticed something, that the menstrual cycle and lunar cycles were almost the same length. So to them, women were not random biological machines. Women were lunar beings. I noticed in my personal experience that preserving sacred energy exchange helped Kundalini energy. Yes, absolutely. Preserving your life force energy, your sexual energy, as she was saying, energy exchange, is absolutely how you increase the Kundalini energy. Woman came before man, absolutely. Okay. Where was I? The Zohar connects feminine energy with lunar cycles, purification, and renewal. Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah, right, both are, say that the normal menstrual cycle of a woman is the same as that of a moon. Wait, I already went over that. Sorry, I got mixed up. Ancient people believed the feminine body was spiritually rhythmic. The energetic system of the spine, the chakras, the breath, sexual energy, consciousness is all connected. Kundalini was symbolized as a serpent energy resting at the base of the spine. Sound familiar? Moses lifting the serpent in the wilderness, the bronze serpent, the serpent in Eden, the Caduceus symbol, all serpent imagery tied to healing and transformation. It gives a new meaning to blood moon. Sorry, I had to. Right. The void is the cosmic womb where everything was created in darkness, as above, so below. Yep. Sorry, where was I? I need to be more organized. I threw this one together because Hey, how are you, McKay? Like I said, it's the end of the month. I'll be posting the new lunar calendar soon, and so I wanted to get this out there before then. And I'm going to make a separate video and be better and show diagrams and things, and hopefully it'll help, because I've been teaching women, maybe wrong, maybe there's truth to both methods. That's what in my own personal experience with it, the last 2 years following my sidereal sun sign, I actually, have experienced a lot of deeper revelation and connection with the divine. So I know that maybe it was placebo. Maybe it was just because I was anticipating it to be something, and it was. But anyways, this month and for the next several months, I'll be testing out moon phase as well as ovulation date. Okay, so I'm going to continue my sidereal sun sign fast, and I'm also going to incorporate ovulation date. So if you're not tracking your cycle, start tracking it so that you know what your ovulation date is, and then as well as moon phase. I'm so great. It's good to see you. Thank you for always sharing truth and kindness. Thank you. I appreciate that, McKay. I think the mind has a lot to do with it for sure, right? Yeah. I mean, because if you're already becoming more present, more aware, and focused inwardly, then obviously things are going to happen if you're in that frame of mind. But maybe the energies weren't aligned. Maybe it was just all more me that was producing those feelings. So if the energies are amplified with, say, the moon phase or the ovulation, then I can put the theory to the test and see if there's more magic that happens, right? Man and woman are one, equal, first and the last. Yeah. When you Kundalini'd, was it that time? Well, so I don't know about my ovulation because I wasn't tracking back then. So I don't know if I can, because women's cycles, I don't think they stay that consistent. You know what I mean? I don't think it'd be I think over time they probably move away from what it is now. I don't know if I could track it back to then. I can try. But it does line up with the moon phase. It's 2 days off from the moon phase of what I was born in. So, like I said, I would do about 2 days before and after, whichever moon phase you were born under, for your sacred secretion time. Hey, Kindred, how are you? Good to see you. Grand Rising, haven't seen you in a while. So, so modern neuroscience shows that light entering the eyes also affects this. So it affects the melatonin production, the circadian rhythms, and hormone regulation. And then also we need to focus on our nervous system regulation. Just do the whole week, y'all. Right? That way you know you're safe. Right. For sure. Hello, young Buddha. How are you? Got ya. I know exactly what day it was for me. I can track it. No idea why I haven't thought about this. Yeah, for sure. I mean, mine was just 2 years ago. I know the exact date. I just don't know if my cycle has been that consistent. You know what I mean? So I could try to track it back 2.5 years, but what is the definition of Christ consciousness? Tapping into the mind of Christ. It's basically the renewing of the mind that the Bible speaks of. Unity consciousness, telekinesis, levitation, empathetic. Okay, that's a lot. Hey, Ginger, how are you? Good to see you. So, again, the sacred secretion, this is a natural process that occurs within your body each month when the moon enters your sidereal sun sign for men. For women, you can also practice ovulation or the moon phase you were born under. Okay, so I'll be testing these out myself and reporting back to y'all soon with the results. But yeah, I don't know. I would like to track mine back and see if that's a possibility. But I definitely think that it's, since the moon phase was only 2 days off, there is some truth to that. So, do you have any other questions? I'm going to go over the process, the Christos, the anointing that abides in you. 1 John 2:27, right? So Christ or Christos in ancient Greek means anointed or smeared with oil. So 1 John 2:27 says, as for you, the anointing, so the Christos, which you received from him, abides in you. And you have no need for anyone to teach you, but as his anointing teaches you about all things. Because when you raise this Christos oil back up to the pineal gland, you become enlightened. It becomes your teacher. Numbers 14:8 says, if the Lord is pleased with us, he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which flows with milk and honey. So the pituitary gland secretes a milky-like substance called oxytocin, and the pineal gland secretes a honey-like substance called melatonin. This is the Christos oil, the sacred secretion. It travels down the spine when it reaches the solar plexus, which is the sun, S-U-N, son of man, dwelling amongst the 7 golden candlesticks. Those are your 7 chakras. There is a seed produced. That seed travels down with the oil to the sacral chakra, or the tomb, right? The womb. And when it rests, and on the 3rd day it resurrects. So this is the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ in you. You thought it was prolactin for the pituitary gland. I'm not sure what that is. According to Kelly Marie Kerr, it's oxytocin and vasopressin, but mostly oxytocin, I believe, which is the white milk-like substance. And I forgot where I was. So this is the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ in you. It rises the 33 vertebrae, which represents the 33 years of Jesus' life. And as it crosses the vagus nerve, so this is your cross here, right? Your vagus nerve, right here, as it crosses, it becomes crucified, which actually means to increase in power, not to unalive. So when it reaches the pineal, you will see God face to face, like Genesis 32:30. Jacob named the place Pineal because he said, I saw God face to face and my life was preserved. Right? So seeing God face to face is allegory for having a spiritual awakening or some type of encounter with the divine. So his life was preserved because this process promotes longevity of life. It detoxifies the blood. Turning water into wine is the cerebral spinal fluid, the living waters into detoxified blood. It regenerates cells and activates junk DNA. It's not junk, it is dormant. It must be activated. That's where I believe our spiritual gifts are, and our Akashic records. So you may have like past life memories coming back to you, spiritual gifts come online. But mostly this is about healing your nervous system regulation. Like I said, coming back home, or homeostasis. Becoming whole, holy, right? This is about honoring your sacredness. Yeah, so the light of the body is thine eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be filled with light. So they're talking about the mind's eye there. In the Greek, it's ophthalmos. Thank you for the roses. It's the mind's eye. So when you close the physical eyes, what are you doing? You're meditating. You're making thine eye single, going within. So take no thought, right? Be still and know. All these things point to meditation. I'm a Gnostic witch, says Amber. That's awesome. Okay, let me scroll up and see if I missed anything. Thank y'all for the follows, by the way. I see Starlight Angel follow. Thank you so much. I successfully deconstructed one of my friends from religious dogma, but he remains unconvinced of anything spiritual. He's agnostic now. Well, that happens sometimes. Yeah, I'm not sure where you go from there. If he hasn't experienced anything supernatural for himself, it's going to be hard to convince him of anything spiritual. Hey, Dragon, how are you? The pineal is the honey and the pituitary gland is the milk. Yeah. You're my pure goddess. Hello, Joe. Okay. You sure are beautiful. Thank you, Jane. Appreciate that. Father is a title, mother is a title, God is a title, human is a title. Okay. I still wish you children for you to teach. What? I'm not so sure what you're saying there, Jane. Grand Rising Dragon. Much love to you as well. Hey, Anita. Grand Rising. Lovely Sunday to you as well. Learning new things today. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, so the thing I learned new recently is that for women, honoring your sacred secretion may be more about your menstrual cycle, your ovulation, than your sun sign. So for women, if you want to start honoring your ovulation date or the moon phase that you were born under, if you're menopausal or no longer having a period. Thank you, great one. You as well. And putting that, to the test. I'm going to be doing the same because, women, like men are more solar energy, obviously. Men and women are feminine. I'm sorry. Our lunar is feminine. I can't talk today. Don't get what I'm saying. So, I went over a lot of the information about women create men. Women create, men create, women do the work, men do the work. Okay. I'm not sure what you're saying, Happy Gilmore. Like, I agree. We're equal. Is that what you're getting at? Yeah, it is interesting, right, Anita? And so I looked back on my Kundalini, my second one, because that's the one I know the date of. To see what moon phase, like how close it was. And it was 2 days within the same moon phase as the day I was born. So it does track there, because I would say whatever phase of the moon you were born under, go about 2 to 3 days on either side of that, and that would be your window. If you're following ovulation, to do 2 to 3 days before and after your ovulation day. And so, yeah. But basically, this is an inner alchemical process connected to the nervous system, hormonal rhythms, light exposure, the pineal and pituitary glands, and the body's natural biological cycles. So, The purpose of the practice is not supernatural powers, but nervous system regulation, inner peace, health, emotional balance, and becoming the best version of yourself. So the nervous system is the foundation of the process. So practices like meditation, fasting, stretching, exercise, breath work, and proper rest help create the conditions for the body to enter a more coherent state. Pretty much we all play in leapfrog. We're equal, but big and small. Hello, Caitlin. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, those are good books. I have a few of those. Hi, Marley. Beautiful new day. How are you? Yes, it's been a while. Good to see you, Caitlin. So, Marley, I'm not sure if you're available, but if you'd like to come up and talk about your experience with the Kundalini, you are more than welcome to request up. Thank y'all for the follows, and thank you for the heart me. Thank you so much. If y'all don't mind sending the daily heart me, tapping that screen, sharing the live. Y'all are doing amazing already at 23K. Good job. I was reading in Matthew 20 today, and wow. Oh, awesome. Would you like to come up and share? Thank you for the heart me. Let me know. Or just hit the little... There she is. Let me turn my volume up. Okay, it is. Grand Rising, Marley, how are you?
I am well, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that picture.
Thank you. So, what did you want to share about what you were reading today?
Well, I was reading in Matthew. It was pretty, I love it when I put the Bible down and then once in a blue moon I'll just pick it up again, and it's pretty cool when you do that because you really find deeper nuggets. Let me see, where do I even want to start in Matthew 20? Hold on one second. Go ahead and talk, Honeybee. I'm going to try to find the verse that I was referring to.
Okay. So while she's looking for that, let's talk about how women should not primarily follow the moon in your sun sign method used by many men. So instead, women's sacred secretion cycle is tied more directly to ovulation, menstruation, and the lunar phase they were born under. So men operate on a more solar rhythm, women operate on a more lunar rhythm. So while men may track the moon entering the birth sun sign, women should focus on the ovulation cycle, their menstruation rhythm, and the moon phase they were born under. So during this time, thank you for the hand hearts, that was cute. Ovulation and menstruation. Women should take care of themselves, conserve energy, avoid excessive depletion, and allow the body's energy to flow inward rather than constantly outward. So this helps the body recycle energy, regulate hormones, and support nervous system coherence. The father creates the mother. Okay.
How does the father to create the mother? I'm sorry. I just was reading that too.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeehaw. Hey, Lights Within, how are you? Yeah, the Mother Sophia created the demiurge, right? Yeah. I think that, like in the beginning, like I said, it was the spirit hovering over the waters. That's the masculine and feminine. I think it was. Thank you so much. I think it was more of a co-creation. The
Me
spirit being
too.
masculine, the light, right, that hovers over the waters, which is feminine, the dark feminine, the light masculine.
So it was Matthew 20:20 is where I want to start.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, What wilt thou? She said unto him, Grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on the right and the other son on the left in thy kingdom. But Jesus answered and said, Ye know not what ye ask. Are you able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They say unto him, We are able. And he saith unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom is prepared of my Father. And then the 10 heard it. They were moved with indignation against the two brethren. But Jesus called unto him and said, Ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you, but whoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to be ministered and to give life as a ransom for many. But I could go on. But anyways, you're getting the gist of this. And when you asked about my Kundalini, this is why Jesus is saying, are you really prepared to be baptized by what I have been baptized by? Because once that process starts for everyone, it's different. I'm experiencing something a little different than you, honeybee, and it's been documented. I've read many stories now on other people's experience with this process. And if I can express to anyone that if you even want to begin this process, the beginning is to do all your shadow work first and get that out of the way. So then you can have an open and healed system to receive this beautiful energy that comes in over a period of time, for however long it is for each individual. But I'm still going through the process, and it's certain is when I feel my energy come in way stronger than other times of the month. So I know it has something to do with astrology and our charts, obviously. But it's definitely a process for each person. But to begin this process, it all has to go inward first. And to go inward, you must ask yourself all of those hard questions as to why, why, why does that make me mad? Why do I get frustrated? Why do I do that? You need to ask all of those questions about self. We constantly want to point the finger and say, oh, my sister, or oh, my mother, or oh, this person. And oh, that sounds so good to want to point the finger out there. But what inside of you is causing that chaos? Because that chaos is starting from within. And as long as we have chaos within us, you will continue to see a chaos on the outside of you. And that's what this experience has shown me.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So, Dragon, baptism is when you're in your mother's womb. So, I would agree that's the baptism of water when we break through our mother's waters or her womb. But the baptism of fire is the Kundalini experience. So, it's when that fire awakens within you and purifies you. Hold on one sec. Will I let my dog in?
Why do you think they call it the baptism of fire? It's the only way to express it to a level that can do it any justice for some, because it's burning away everything that is not of God, that's not of pure love and light.
Right.
It's showing you all of your, that's why I'm thoroughly convinced that Job is one of the oldest stories, because I believe it's a Kundalini story. And I can only say that because of what my own experience is. And so if you're not prepared for this, it can literally flip up your world. People have literally, thank God I'm not working, because if I was working, I wouldn't be able to work, is what I'm trying to say. That's the process for some. So I want people to understand, get your body healthy, get your mind healthy, heal your insides, so that your body can receive more of your highest form, because that's what's happening. The highest version of you is being poured inside of you. And so that's the reason why I have surrendered to the experience. I've literally surrendered to it and just have allowed it. So I don't look at it anything other than a beautiful experience, instead of looking at it as, oh, this is hell, because it can be at times. It can feel that way. The burning is pretty severe, which is, once again, why would they call it baptism of fire if there was not? That's the most truthful statement, to be honest with you. If you want to talk about true statements in the Bible, that's one.
Yeah, so for sure, that's why we need to prepare the temple. The body is the temple, right? For God to come meet with us. Just like he met with the high priest in the Holy of Holies, now he meets with us in the Holy of Holies, which is right here, the mind's eye. And so that's where Jacob saw God face to face, right? And named the place Pineal. So we have to prepare it by, like Marley said, healing our traumas, right? Doing the shadow work. So those can manifest as blockages of the chakras. So we really need to focus in and heal the nervous system, heal the traumas that are stored within the body. And mindfulness is a great practice to follow for that. So daily meditation, chanting, grounding, just stillness, just and allowing yourself to regulate all of the emotions. And what did you say, Marley, to align your emotions with your thoughts?
So when the most profound thing that came in for me was, God said, your thoughts, number one, is your thoughts, because the thought is what creates the emotion, and then the emotion creates the action. So God said, you put your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions all in alignment, which that, in referring to the Bible, if thy eye be single, the whole body is full of light. So if your eye is good, then your thoughts are good, your emotions are good, and your actions are good. And that is what that is all talking about. So if you want to ask yourself, what are we here for? That's what we're here for. That right there is the whole reason why we're here on earth, is to get those in alignment.
For sure. I would agree. Thank you, Caitlin, for the gifts. And thank you, Joe. You love the video with Joshua on the Joseph's dreams. Yeah, the sun, moon, and stars. Yeah, that was a good one. Amber says Yahweh is a lesser god from the Canaanite pantheon. Yes, Sophia created him in error. Correct. Okay. Sorry, I'd like to get caught up on my comments. Thank y'all for the follows. Thank you, Teach, Create, Love, Laugh. I love the name. Very cute. Thank you, Caitlin, again for the gifts. And Angel's Spiritual Guidance. Thank you for the follow. So, so basically, each month, this is a natural. Thank you. Thank you so much for the gifts. Just another fan. This is a natural process that occurs for men when the moon enters your sun sign. For women, it could be that. Now there's new information out that's saying you may want to follow your ovulation or menstruation or the moon phase you were born under. So do what feels right for you. Maybe test a few different things. That's what I'm doing. So from now on, I'll be testing, which I've been doing for the last 2.5 years, the sun sign, which I see results from. So like I said before, it may be like a placebo effect where I think it's working, so it's working. But also I'm going to be testing out now ovulation and moon phase. So start tracking your cycles if you're not, so you know which days your ovulation, do 2 to 3 days on either side of that day, plus if you're doing your moon phase, about 2 to 3 days on either side of the moon phase you were born under. So,
You know why I think that this is the time that is so wild is because in order to be in alignment, fully in alignment with what you're talking about is you cannot be on the birth control pill. So let's be honest and real about that part, you know. This is why women, this is why this all happened at this time. They knew this mass awakening was going to happen. And so the powers of this world, this lovely matrix, had to come up with a way. How can we stop this? Well, women are we are the front runners. Okay, so let's shut the womb down. Okay, this is how deep it is, y'all. Okay, so how much do this is how, yes, you guys, this is how very serious this is. And you know, I gave up my womb. Okay, I had a complete hysterectomy. And so why do you think this is all being created right now, or why this has been happening, is because they knew this mass awakening was going to happen. And so how do you throw off the ones that are going to mass awaken the most? It's the women. We carry the womb. And so it's pretty significant that we understand that as women, how yes, we want to have this freedom to do whatever we want to do, but at what cost? Okay, because if you shut the womb down, you're shutting your intuition down. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, what is more important? And I don't know, for myself, I am at the place where what's most important is I would like to get off the wheel of samsara and move on to wherever Yeshua is at. That's where I want to go, okay? And since I understand this whole matrix, that's the only way I know how to verbalize it, you know, since I kind of understand this whole matrix, I understand the language of the Bible and what Yeshua was saying about, I go to prepare a place, in my Father's house are many mansions, where it's many different realms. And so I just want to get to higher consciousness, higher places. And so in that higher consciousness, and the greatest gift is to know that you are the generator and the creator of it. So you can start generating and creating right now, no matter what. You can start today. No matter what, you have the power to start today. I am just speaking from my own experience, because I went through the medical system, gave up my womb, gave up my body to listen to the medical system. I was their greatest guinea pig, to be quite honest with you. I listened to everything that they told me to do. And the craziest part about that is in my own awakening, to forgive myself, because I was like so angry at God. Like, what is this going on here? I don't understand this. Well, when I did my shadow work, guess guess what that came from? That came from showing me, did you ever come to me before you had any of those surgeries? Did you ever ask me, why is this happening to you? See, I never asked the questions. In my mind, I was indoctrinated that God created the doctors. You go to the doctor and the doctor knows best. That's old school thinking, y'all. Let's get rid of that old school thinking. That's gone. Take mama's thinking, grandmama thinking, granddaddy, all that thinking got to go. That's why those people got to go. And I'm not
Absolutely.
going to get on my tangent. I'll let you have your floor back.
Oh no, I agree. I agree. They've attacked the divine feminine, and you're right about. Oh, thank you for all the gifts, Caitlin. You're so sweet. You're right about like attacking the womb, and matriarchy is the right way. Absolutely, Amber. And we discussed that on the last live, and that's what I feel like we're stepping into. But that mask look cute on you. Thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate that. Welcome on, Tizzle. Grand Rising. I wanted to bring
Grand
you up.
Rising, Honeybee. Hello, hello.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
I wanted to know your opinion. And so, in the chat, you mentioned that your Kundalini was during your sun sign. I think you said tropical sun sign.
Yes,
Okay. So I'm curious. Do
yes.
you know the moon phase? Have you looked into that?
Um, no, I haven't. So
So
all
I would
yeah, no, I don't.
Okay. I would like for you to see if you can look up your birthday moon phase and the moon phase of the day you had your Kundalini, if you remember the date. I'm assuming you do.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And just to test it to see if we're within a couple days of the moon phase, then you know, I need more and more
Yeah,
people to kind of test this theory so I can be sure I'm teaching it the right way. Because for the last, 2.5 years, I've been teaching women to follow their sun sign. And so if that's incorrect, I definitely want to, have some evidence to back this up.
yeah. Let me get my laptop real quick because I do want to look that up. Hold on.
You know what I love about you is the mere fact that new information was given to you. This is the beauty of a I look at it as a Christed being is discernment. New information is given. Well, once some new information is given, well, there must be something to this information, right? So I'm going to figure this out for myself. That's the beauty of you, sweetheart, is new information is given, and you're not going to just go, oh, nope, that's wrong. You want to test the spirit. You want to test it.
Yeah. Yeah, and so with this new information, like it even made me go back and check because I was using what's called Deluxe Moon app. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So during my Kundalini, I was using this app and it's kind of confusing. I don't have it on this phone or I would show you. It's on the one I'm on. It's like it has the tropical, sidereal, and astronomical, like all in this wheel, these like cycles, and the moon goes around it. And so it's kind of hard to see which sign it's in and which astronomical, whatever, astrology, you know what I'm talking about, which one to follow. And so I thought that I was in my sidereal sun sign according to that app. When I went back to check it on Stellarium recently because of this new information, it was in Virgo. So it wasn't even in Libra when I thought it was. So I basically, when I was doing my fasting and all that and thought I was in my sidereal sun sign, I wasn't. So again, it could be the placebo thing going on, but also the person I reached out to said you can have a Kundalini anytime. It's not just during your sacred secretion. So
I believe that to be true. I believe that our soul guides that. What it is our soul, and God sees that we are doing our part. Here, this is the key point here, is that when you are doing your part, when you are seeking, when you are knocking with your whole heart, right? That's your meditation, right? You can That's what I'm trying to say is I look at, because I didn't do it a particular way. I just did it seeking with my whole heart. I gave my whole self to God, is what I'm trying to say. So just by doing that, I then was given this beautiful gift. And I was, it was time. It's kind of like Jesus saying, I come like a thief in the night, right? And he does. He said, "Okay, my child, I'm unsealing you." And so it is a beautiful process. That's why you can meditate your whole life and it not happen in that lifetime. Because to you guys, to much is given, much is required. Okay? To much is given, much is required. So when you receive this, it's something that is very powerful. And this is why you are given gifts with this. And to get those gifts, it is a process between you and God, and it is a trust process. And that's how I look at it. That's why people are like, well, why does this person have this gift and this person doesn't have this gift? Well, the question is have you done the work? We want the gifts, but yeah, you must do the work. It's kind of like going to college to be a doctor. You can't just be a doctor. You must go and you must study and you must do the work. If you are here on earth, let me just put it this way. If you are here on earth, you're here for a divine reason. Figure out what it is. You're not just on earth because.
Absolutely. I wanted to address Pretty on Mute. He said, right, I wasn't on my period when I had mine full blown. Yeah, so it wouldn't be on your period, it'd be on your ovulation. On your ovulation day. So 2 to 3 days prior and after your ovulation, or the moon phase you were born under, if you don't have a period anymore. Full moon and new moon are hot for Kundalini. See, and it was a new moon when I had my Kundalini, so that's interesting. But that's only 2 days off of the phase that it was in when I was born, so it also lines up with that. So yeah, so I'm definitely going to be trying to get as much information from others. Marley, I don't know if you remember your Kundalini date. I think you do, because it was on the same, it was right around the same as mine, right? And so maybe you could check the moon phase compared to your birthday as well. Not now, but just whenever you have a chance, or if you'd like me to do it for you, just give me those dates. But yeah, we have to always be open for new information, because like I don't know everything. I never have claimed to, and this is a continual journey of seeking and receiving, right? So yeah, if there's more information that can help, especially like, if it's not just about the astrology, it could be with our cycles, which would make sense, because we are aligned with the moon, the 13 cycles, 13 months that, now we've gone to a 12-month masculine solar calendar, but it was a very feminine cyclic calendar.
Okay, hey honeybee.
Hey.
So, okay, I don't know what I put in the comments, so let's disregard that for a second because I am still
Okay.
waking up. But okay, so mine was May 12th, 2023. I was pregnant at the time as well, so no period or anything. Yeah, I was pregnant. And it was, 7 days after my mom made the transition. So that would have been May 12th, 2023. The moon in tropical was in Aquarius, so and the other would be Capricorn. And then, but the sun was in Taurus during that time. I'm an Aries in tropical, and then Pisces in the other.
Okay. So the moon was in Aquarius,
The
or
moon, yeah. Well, if we follow tropical, it was in Aquarius. If we follow the other, it would be in Capricorn.
what's your sign?
And I'm so for sidereal, I'm Pisces, but for tropical, Aries.
So it was in neither.
Yeah, so it was a neither for me actually. Yeah. because
So
the
what
sun was
about
in Taurus,
the
obviously.
moon phase on your birthday? Do you know? If you give me your birthday,
Uh,
I'll look it up.
yeah, my birthday is April 10th,
And the date of the year?
1999.
Okay, so on April 10th, 1999, moon phase, a waning crescent. So that's 23 and a half days into the lunar cycle. On May 12th, 2023, it was last quarter. Hmm. So that is not. That is last quarter would be how many days into the, let me see.
Yeah, this is why, like, ever since you've been talking about it more, I can't even advise people on exactly when to do it or like what to go by. I'm just like,
No,
because
but that's
and again, I wasn't trying to induce mine either. It just happened. So it's not like I was fasting from certain things. My mom had just made the transition. I wasn't eating really, and I unintentionally did a lot of things that I, wasn't intentionally trying to do it. Now that I know the things to help, but. So
right.
yeah, it's hard for me at this point to try to help people.
But it does line up. So it was a last quarter, which is 22 days into the cycle, into the lunar cycle, and a waning crescent, which is your birthday one, is 23 and a half days. So you were within 2 days.
Okay, okay, yeah. Well, then that tracks.
So moon phase is looking like the winner. And then I still have to test ovulation, which we'll see. And that may line up with moon phase. You know, your ovulation day may be the same as the moon phase when you were born. That's why they say, well, if you no longer have your cycle, to follow the moon phase.
Yeah, and I wonder if anybody knows anybody that's ever had a Kundalini while they were pregnant. Please let me know because I would love to just like share some of the experiences that I like found out even about my baby that I have now. I got a lot of information on her just like through that Kundalini experience. Like I didn't even know what I was having yet. I was only like 9 weeks pregnant at the time. And then I found out that she was going to be a girl through that and just a lot. So I just wonder if anybody had any other like revelations about their pregnancy during that. But yeah.
I didn't even know about a Kundalini. I didn't know anything about it until just months before it happened to me. I knew nothing about chakras. I knew, I knew nothing. It was so amazing how it all unfolded for me. Again, I was just seeking with my whole heart. Finally, went outside the Bible for the first time, went into the lost books of the Bible. That ended up leading me to YouTube. I'm on YouTube, and one day a video came up, and that's how everything changed. It all happens in beautiful divine timing when you are truly seeking with your whole heart. I think this is one of the reasons why it says in the Bible that you cannot take heaven by force. It is a natural process. And even if you tried to do it, I still believe, because you can go to other high gurus or whatever, and they can, help force this to happen inside of you. But nonetheless, you're going to reap the consequences of even trying to take heaven by force. And I think that's what it means by taking heaven by force, is that this comes naturally when you are naturally doing what we were created to do, and that is to seek with our whole self and our whole hearts and to love. If you are naturally doing that and meditating, it's going to happen. That's the beauty of it. And the only reason why I say that is because that's how it happened for me. So I believe that's our soul's journey, and in our soul's timing, it's going to happen. Nothing can stop it, is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. Yeah. So nothing can stop it. This is a natural process. It's just there's certain things that we can do to help facilitate and make it easier on us when it does occur.
Bingo. That's the key component that she is saying to me. And that's the part I want to get across, is that in order to facilitate, know this is happening, this is hidden. This is why it's hidden. because they know how powerful it is. And it's so hidden and it's not spoken about, because when it comes on, you can think that something's wrong with you, and you could go to the medical system and then they start giving you medications. I mean, this is why it's hidden, you guys, and why it's not known is because of this process. And that's why preparing the vessel and the temple of God is not in a building. The temple is your beautiful avatar body, this beautiful body that you wake up to every day, that gets to be right here on Mother Earth, to do your greatest soul's journey. That's the beauty of this. It's pretty magical when it unfolds inside of you. It is very magical.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I think that we're on to something here. I did see Pretty on Mute. I put your moon phase in the comments. You had asked about your birthday. If anybody else wants me to look up their moon phase, you can drop your birthday in the comments. So it does look like there is some truth to this. I was seeing 2 moons during my Kundalini. Wow, it went for over a month. You know, I saw 2 moons. It was right around that time, actually. And I even got it through my telescope. And I took pictures of it. I have them somewhere. So, yeah, there's actually another moon out there or something similar that I saw through my telescope. You could see both. Rebecca, that's who it was. Not Pretty on Mute. I did put yours in the comments. Rebecca, if you scroll up some. Yours was waxing crescent about 5.25 days into the lunar cycle. So each month around that same time, so about I would say, since you want to go 2 days before and after, about 3 days into the lunar cycle, and extend it to about 7 days in. So for those 4 days, or whatever that is, 5 days. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for y'all. No worries, dear. Okay, 11/22/81. So your moon phase is waning crescent, about 25.75 days into the lunar cycle. So almost back to the new moon, but oh, okay, I did that one. I also have seen 2 moons. Wow, that's cool. Uh, 10/4/68. So your moon phase is waxing gibbous about 12.7 days into the moon cycle. So about 12.7 days after the new moon. Waxing gibbous. Do you know Inanna went through 7 gates, right? The 7 chakras.
You have to go through the 7 gates. You cannot not go through the 7 gates.
Yeah.
That's exactly how you ascend.
March 10th, 72 was waning crescent, about 24.5 days into the lunar cycle. Waning crescent. You're welcome. April 8th, 66. Your moon phase is waning gibbous, so that's about 18 days into the lunar cycle. So 18 days after the new moon. God bless you both, my superior divine beauty queen, almighty goddess. Oh, thank you, Joe. You're very sweet. Hello, Leah. Leah, how are you? Grand Rising. Good to see you. 7 gates, infinite gates. My father's house has many rooms, yes. Many mansions or dwelling places. I just found out they are the same. Inanna and Esther. Yep. Or Ishtar. I had a video on that around Easter. Did you not see that one? You're welcome, Xeno Star. People are afraid of astrology, but what? Are forgetting the sun controls time. No sun, no time, no people. Well, that's true, but they also forget that it's all throughout the Bible. The Mazzaroth in the book of Job is literally the zodiac. Hey, Fulie, how are you?
The whole Bible is the zodiac, y'all. When you really, really understand this, I mean, just let's first get to an understanding that the whole Bible is the zodiac, which is the Mazzaroth. And then you can then get to the inner standing of the beauty of it. So first it's an understanding, and then it becomes an inner standing.
Yep. The 12 disciples are the 12 zodiacs, are the 12 tribes, are the 12 stones on the breastplate of the high priest, right? It's all connected. And then we see, even the Zoroastrian, the 3 magi's that visited Jesus when he was born, they followed the star, right? Stars are signs and symbols for the times and seasons. Everything has a purpose, for sure. But it's astrotheology, guys. It's all there. It's all throughout. Who's requesting? Papa Plant. David and Goliath is a constellation story. Interesting. I think they all are, though. It's as above, so below, right? It can be seen play out in the stars as well as in history, as well as internally, anatomically, right? There's levels to this. It's not just one thing. There's not just one truth. Many levels of truth, all simultaneously. So, okay. Where was I on my notes? Hello, Nathan. How are you? Grand Rising. Good to see you. Infinite levels, right? Infinite. That's not the right notes.
I just thought the same thing. I thought with consciousness, it seems to continue. When you think, oh, wow, I have a higher understanding, and the next thing you know, there's even a higher understanding.
One truth divided by many illusions, partially true, describing truth, each layer. I think you mean promotes your awakening. Yes, absolutely, Wink. Yep. And I sure become more aware by peeling back the illusions, the more you realize you are one. Yes, absolutely. Peel back all the illusions, the programming, all the things that no longer serve you, all the shadows and triggers, right? And get back to self. It's all about self-realization, God realization, and then actualization. Once you realize it, then there's work to do, right? Then we have to put into action its embodiment of the Christ consciousness. 13 disciples with Mary, exactly, Wade. Yep. I got to a point where I said, all I know is I know nothing, right? Exactly. Yes, strip away the vapor. Oop. The 3 that came after the destroyer of worlds was Inanna, Utu, and Nana, Utu, and Inanna during a major stroke. Okay. I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Okay. So again, we're just going over some new information that I've come into recently about the women's cycle of the sacred secretion and how it follows our menstruation, ovulation, or moon phase, not the sun sign in, or the moon entering your sun sign, like for the males. So the universe only responds to physical actions. Passive systems don't work. I don't know about that. Everything manifests in the spiritual first, so I don't know how you could say that. Okay. So during ovulation, women should take care of themselves, conserve energy, avoid excessive depletion, and allow the body's energy to flow inward rather than constantly outward. This is helping the body recycle the energy, regulate hormones, and support nervous system coherence. Christos, so you recently started menopause, so then you would be following the moon phase if you're no longer cycling. Okay, no worries, Tizzle. Love is oneness, yes. New Age baloney. This is not New Age. This is ancient teachings. New Age would be Christianity. The modern Christian doctrine is New Age. It's not what Jesus taught. You're welcome. Yeah, so whatever phase the moon was in when you were born, then go 2 to 3 days either side of that. As within, so without, I create a mirrored universe. Yes. And wait, what exactly do men follow the moon as well? Men follow when the moon enters your sun sign. Now, whether you follow sidereal or tropical, I've always leaned towards sidereal because that is what's actually happening within the solar system. But, you know, whatever you resonate with. So theirs is the same as I've always taught. It's just the women that now there's more information on that could change. And I'm putting this to the test, and anybody else that wants to put this to the test and bring me their data back, you know, I'm going to be testing my ovulation date as well as my moon phase. When I went back to the day of my Kundalini, it does track. It's about 2 days from the moon phase of when I was born, as well as Tizzle's. We tracked hers, another person who had a Kundalini, and hers followed. It was within 2 days of the moon phase as well. The stars are new, right? That's funny. And what if my moon and sun are the same? Then I mean it would be the same. Whenever the moon enters your sun sign, whatever your sun sign is, that's what you want to follow. I post a sidereal. I might start posting both, tropical and sidereal for the men. I'm not sure, but I do, because now that I see that mine wasn't even aligned with my sidereal sun sign, I was using an app that was very confusing at the time, but I went back on Stellarium. And Stellarium is how I always test what your actual sun sign is and what the moon was actually in, because Stellarium is a great website that you can type in any day, any time, any location, and then it'll show you the sky on that day. And then you can adjust the settings at the bottom and like turn off like the landscape and atmosphere and turn on the constellations, and you can see where the sun actually was, because tropical is 23 degrees off. It does not follow the stars in the sky. Thank you for the follow, Moss. Just got here. What are we women testing? Okay, so Geneva, there's new information about this sacred secretion. that women should follow their ovulation or the moon phase from when they were born, not necessarily the moon in your sun sign like I've been teaching. So, like I said, I've put this to the test, and I'm going to test as well with you, honeybee. Okay, awesome, Tizzle. So, any women that would like to also test this each month, so, or you don't have to do all three, but maybe test each one, you know. I'm going to be doing all three, honestly. I'm going to do my sidereal sun sign, which I've been doing. I'm going to test my ovulation and my moon phase so that I can track and see what, basically, just, I've felt a deeper connection this whole time, this whole 2.5 years, but was it the placebo effect where I thought something was going to happen, so it did? You know what I mean? I haven't experienced another awakening since the first time. But you are taking action right now, and it's awesome. You have become a cause point. Thank you. Hold on 1 second. I gotta let my dog in. Again, I'm masculine, but very in tune with the feminine within me. Oh, that's awesome. Is that called Stellar? Yes, that's how you spell it. So it's an app, but you can use the website for free. If astrology was baloney, why do you think they have holiday? Yeah, there's so many holidays that they have holidays to keep us off track. Yeah, but like Easter follows astrology, and like certain holidays like follow the moon. How often does moon enter sun sign? Once a month. Sometimes twice, just depending on how it falls that month. The sun and moon align, yet they are different sizes. Titles don't matter. Yeah. 23 degrees Masonic. I think that's 33 degrees. Okay, thank you. I'm new to all this, so I have no idea on any of my signs. No worries. You can DM me, and I can help you find what your sidereal sun sign was, which is your true sun sign, and you can follow that if you'd like, or you can just follow the ovulation or the moon phase. So right now I'm just in kind of like experimental, you know, let's experiment. Let's see what's truth and what's not. And maybe it's all true. Maybe women are just powerful. We have lots of different times that we can activate this energy. This is how powerful certain times of the month. This is what I meant. Yeah, exactly. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me let my dog in. She scratches the door, I swear. Come on. Hold up. Oh, my birdies. Come on, Coda. Inside. You go, you get back in. Get back in. Thank you. Okay. So, woman is God, not God or gods, they are God. I'm a whole new phase of life with premenopause, so that's fun. It's very unpredictable. Yeah, so with that perimenopause, I would suggest following your moon phase. So if you just Google your birthday and moon phase, or if you want to give me your birthday right now, I can look up the moon phase, and then go 2 to 3 days on either side of that. Oh, capital letters. 10, 20, 75. Oops. Okay. So, it was a full moon, so that'll be easy to track. You were born on a full moon, so 2 to 3 days before and after the full moon is when you should honor your sacred secretion. So what that looks like is basically just taking care of yourself, preserving your energy, abstinence. so you don't spill the seed. Focusing your energy inward instead of outwardly. Fasting, breath work, meditation, grounding. Can you do my boyfriend's August 16th, 1994? Well, for him, he's going to do not the moon phase, but let me go to Stellarium. Actually, I will need to know where he was born, Tizzle. Let me do. Moon phase. Can't type today. So, Pinky Silver, you are a waning gibbous moon phase on your birthday. So that was roughly 19 days into the lunar cycle. Okay, so 19 days after the new moon is your sacred secretion. So about 2 to 3 days on either side of that, waning gibbous is when you want to honor your sacred secretion. You're welcome, Geneva. Abstinence. Yes. Oh, there it is. Yep. Salante, Michigan. Never heard of that. Nothing found. Interesting. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Oh, I put an I. Oh, there's no I after the Y. There we go. All right, so the date is, scroll back up, 1994. August 16th. 8:16, and then for the time, I'm just going to do noon. It probably doesn't change. We'll see if he's on a cusp. So sun is Leo. And I just like to do a quick Google confirmation. So I do, what is the sidereal sun sign for someone born 8/16/94 in okay, that's weird. Did I do this right? 1994, 8/16. It's telling me Cancer. But on Stellarium, it's like right in Leo's paw. This is what I mean by it's like so confusing. Stellarium to me would be like what I would trust even over Google, because I mean it's giving you a clear picture of the sky. He could be right on the cusp of Leo and Cancer in sidereal, because it's showing Cancer first. So it's a hard one, but I can send you a screenshot of what it looks like. To me, it would be Leo. Let me ask you a question, and it is a little supernatural. Okay. Go for it, Ravens. So he stays Leo no matter what, because he's Leo in tropical too. See, I'm not sure, because it's telling me Cancer, specifically falling within the Cancer date range of July 17th to August 16th. Wikipedia. Interesting. So there's a chart on Wikipedia. Thank you for the heart me, by the way. It says Cancer is July 17th through August 16th for sidereal. So that means he's right on the cusp. Yeah, okay, I see. He is right on the cusp between Cancer and Leo. So he could probably do either or both. This is the same problem I had. Being on the cusp. Yeah. It's difficult. Oh, that nice. That explains my brother so much. 816 also. Interesting. Yeah, that's right on the cusp. But to me, like, the sun in the sky on Stellarium, it looks like it's in Leo. I would go with Leo. It's definitely like on the paw of Leo. No, not even near the claw of Cancer. So, I don't know. Working with the absence meditation, all of it combined is possible for abilities, bending elements. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Everybody's gifts and strengths are going to be different and tailored for their soul evolution journey. So you can activate certain spiritual gifts because it activates the dormant DNA, which they call junk DNA. It's not junk, it's just not activated. So for sure. Well, this is not about like getting superpowers. This is just, like I said before, it's about being whole, becoming complete, and home, coming back home to yourself, homeostasis, a regulated nervous system. Being at peace with yourself, right? So it's less about like abilities and spiritual gifts coming online and all that. It's more about just a deeper connection with source and your true self, right? Bingo, they put it right in front of us. Dormant DNA is your greatest potential awaits, right? Absolutely. So, I had gone over the menstrual, the moon phase. Let's see. So light also affects the brain and hormones. So getting enough sunlight. The body runs on cyclical rhythms. And the sacred secretion is a combination of multiple biological systems working together. The pineal, the pituitary, spinal fluid, lymphatic system, solar plexus, and nervous system into one larger inner alchemical process. So it's important for balance like yourself, balance your emotions, balance your pH, grounding spiritually and physically for nervous system regulation. So honoring your ovulation, honoring your moon phase for women, and then honoring your sun sign for men. I've been hydrating indoors too much. Need sunlight reminder. I try to go out every morning. I love it when the sun is out. So here lately we've been having a lot of cloud cover, but and get my vitamin D. I try, and then another in the evening. But if I can, morning meditation out in the sun gazing, and having my mushroom coffee or a smoothie. Okay. So I will be posting the new sidereal lunar calendar soon for the month of June. And then along with that, I'll be posting another breakdown of the sacred secretion cycles and the women's menstruation and ovulation and all that. Because I think it's important go with your intuition, to go with what feels right for you. If following your sun sign feels good, but for me, I kind of agree, like women do cycle with the moon. We are lunar creatures, where men are more masculine solar creatures. So I would suggest maybe putting it to the test. That's why you have a new day every day. Sun is intense here in Hawaii in the first part of the day. Oh, really? I would love that. Like today, the sun was super intense, and I was like, "Yes, look at the sun!" Telling my son to look at the sun. How beautiful it was. Thank you, lover. You as well. I had to refollow you. That's odd. Interesting, Anita. That is odd. These are tools to help us understand self. Yes, this is all about self-realization, which is God realization, when you realize your own divinity, and then actualization, putting it into action, embodiment, bringing heaven to earth. That is our role here. I sun gazed this morning. Beautiful. I try to get some in every morning. So looking at the sun is not bad for your eyes? No. It actually has been proven to help heal your eyes. You can't be in it any longer than an hour. Oh, wow. After 3, it's easier to be in longer. God realization. Yes. Yes, so do not do what? Sun gaze? Yeah, there's lots of benefits for sun gazing. Lots and lots. It also decalcifies the pineal gland. So when you're first starting to sun gaze, you can only do it for a few seconds, right? Just a few seconds at a time. But you can close your eyes and still absorb light there at the third eye. And it helps decalcify. Yes, the sun will heal you, not burn you. Yes. I just picked dandelions barefoot grounding. Oh, I love it, Anita. That's awesome. Yes. Sun gaze, absolutely, for your health. Yes. Yes, absorb all of the light codes, all of the downloads. You will not go blind. I've been sun gazing for 3 years, maybe longer. Only sun gaze at rise and setting. I could do it at high noon, but I think it hurt my eyes. I've done it anytime. It doesn't hurt. I mean, it hurts, like you can't look at it as long, but it doesn't like affect your eyes negatively. It works better when you use a microscope and look up at it. I don't think so. And also make sure you sleep in darkness to be able to produce the nighttime melatonin. Absolutely, yeah. What about my eyes? G-conscious. Okay, so anybody have any other questions about the sacred secretion process? I'll go over a few more notes I had. I can sit in the sun for an hour or more and not get burnt. Diet change, no processed foods. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I barely put any sunscreen on now. When I go out, I'll put some on my nose and like maybe on the very tops of my shoulders. But other than that, I don't need it. I did it for years. I could go all day long, but once I got a red spot in my vision. Interesting. Okay. So, the connection between the woman's cycles, the moon, nervous system regulation, Kundalini energy, and what people call the sacred secretion. This is not medical advice. This is spiritual, symbolic, historical, and esoteric research. I'm not here to tell you that you're going to suddenly become superhuman. The real purpose of spiritual awakening was never becoming special. It was becoming whole. The real alchemy is inner peace, nervous system regulation, emotional balance, embodiment, healing, connection to God, connection to nature, and connection to self. So ancient cultures understood something we've forgotten. The body operates in cycles. Thank you, Tinker. The moon moves in cycles, tides move in cycles, the seasons move in cycles, and women move in cycles. And ancient civilizations deeply connected women to lunar rhythms. In ancient Greece, the word for moon was mene. The Latin word mensis, where we get menstruation from, also means month. The ancients noticed something. The menstrual cycle and lunar cycle were almost the same length. So to them, women were not random biological machines. Women were lunar beings. Sorry, I was trying to get caught up on the comments, but there was nothing to really to address there. Thank you for the populars, Tinker. So, in Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah, women were deeply associated with the moon, connecting feminine energy with lunar cycles, purification, and renewal. And in Tantra, right? And I don't know if I'm saying this right, but Ayurveda, the body was understood as an energetic system. The spine, the chakras, breath, sexual energy, consciousness, all connected. Kundalini was symbolized as a serpent energy resting at the base of the spine, just as Moses lifted the serpent in the wilderness, right? The serpent in the garden, the caduceus symbol, the serpent imagery tied to healing and transformation. Modern neuroscience shows that light entering the eyes affects the suprachiasmatic nucleus. I'm going to look up what that is. Suprachiasmatic nucleus. Sounds... Okay. It's a pair of small pin-sized structures located in the hypothalamus of the brain. It also affects melatonin production, circadian rhythms, and hormone regulation. So ancient mystics may have not used modern scientific language, but they observed these patterns symbolically, as above, so below, as within, so without. The macrocosm mirrored the microcosm. So, the moon entering your sun sign is true for the masculine, but some researchers and spiritual practitioners argue that women operate differently. That women are more lunar than solar, meaning instead of focusing on astrological sun sign timing, women should pay closer attention to their ovulation, menstruation, their energy levels, their nervous system, and the moon phase they were born under. There's also a reference to Dr. Eugene Jonas, who studied fertility, lunar phases, women's fertility patterns correlated with the moon phase they were born beneath. So you may look into him if you're interested in learning more about that. I'm reading a book right now called Wild Power about the women menstruational cycle. I keep saying that wrong, but menstrual cycle, and it's pretty powerful. So some studies show partial synchronization between women's cycles and lunar phases. Other studies do not. So we have to stay intellectually honest here. But spiritually and symbolically, the connection between women and lunar rhythms is ancient. Ancient cultures often viewed menstruation as spiritually powerful. In some traditions, menstruating women were believed to possess heightened intuition, prophetic dreaming, enhanced spiritual sensitivity, or altered states of consciousness. Not because they were unclean, but because they were energetically changing. Some native traditions, mystical Jewish traditions, and ancient goddess traditions treated menstruation as sacred. Let me get caught up on my comments. Thank you. Thank you for the popular Stitch Witch. Thank you so much. Isn't that the Baphomet salute? Up and down, yada yada. What are you saying? As above, so below? Thank you, Tinker. Well, Baphomet, that's what that represents. It's not Satan. Baphomet represents duality. So, yeah. It's very sacred. I return mine back to Mother Gaia. Beautiful. I love that, Stitch Witch. And I want to ask Tizzle about something because I recently got a cup because I wanted to start working with my flow. And yeah, I can't do it. I don't know if there's a smaller one or one more comfortable one. I don't know. I got this one from Amazon and I'm not pleased. Oh, there she is.
Hey, honeybee. I specifically just switched and I use the Shorty brand, SHORDY, and I got it on Amazon. I got a really good deal too because it came with a larger one and then a small one. So you could probably use that small one easier. I normally start off with the large one and then I'll switch to the small one like a few days in, once obviously it's slowed down. And then it also comes with like a sterilizer as well too. So I'll sterilize the cups before and after I'm just like done with my cycle. Not really in between. I'll just, rinse it out with hot water or whatever in between, but yeah.
Came with a small one and a large one, and the small one still. And it did come with an applicator, which I didn't try to use because it said you could like fold it and just insert it or use the applicator. But the applicator looked ginormous too. So the problem is that I've been celibate for 7 years.
Right. Yes.
So it was so painful. There was no way. And pulling it out, I thought I was gonna pass out.
Maybe you want to try the disc instead because they're like a little like the whole shape of it is a little different, and I haven't tried it personally so I can't tell you, but I know a lot of people that commented on my post that you had seen when I posted about it they were like recommending the disc to other people that found it uncomfortable. But all in all, you can really just free it, and then wash it out in a bowl or whatever, and get it out. Because when I dump it out anyway, I dilute it in water. So I mean, it would be kind of the same to just like soak whatever you were wearing within, if you don't leave the house
Oh,
much, I suppose. Because I know a
yeah,
lot of people just buy like period panties and
that's
then will
what,
just do
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because that's what
Mhm.
I've been doing. That's what I have period panties, like the ones that are designed to hold the fluid.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
okay,
I've
so
been
keep
I've been recommending that to people too, because obviously it's still way
okay.
better than like wearing a pad or and trying to
Yeah.
soak that out. Because I don't know, I haven't found one clean brand. So if someone can find one, hey, send it to me. But I'll probably still find something in there I don't want. Because
Okay.
I just try to say if I can't eat it, it can't go on my skin. I shouldn't be sitting in it all day. So
Right,
uh-uh.
exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I got for that. And then yeah, nobody should feel bad about it. Like it really is a sacred process to be able to give back to the earth. I mean, it's just giving back gratitude for everything that the earth does and provides for us on the day to day. And giving back to
Mhm.
the earth is giving back to you. Ever since I started doing this, y'all, it's only been a few months for me, but ever since I started it, my periods are way less painful. I'm not really having cramps. I'm not having issues. I'm
Yeah.
genuinely looking forward to the process instead of dreading it. And I think that changes the whole experience that I'm having. So I recommend everybody to at least, if even if you don't want to go that far, just change the way you think about it. Look forward to your cycle instead of dreading it, because it really does change
Absolutely.
the feelings that you're going to feel during it. The mind is all. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's a good idea though. So I'll take my panties and soak them, and then I'll have some to give back to the earth. Because I've been wanting to work with it, and I just didn't. I didn't put that into. That's what somebody else in the comments said.
Yes. Yeah, that's such a good idea.
There we go. Hey, Crystal, Brand Rising. How are you?
Aloha, Fista. Good, beautiful. I love this conversation so much. And I think this is so important because of my experience with Women's in the Red Tent. The first time I gave my blood back to the earth, I went to a conscious festival, and these women were in a red tent teaching about this. And it wasn't my moon cycle, but all of a sudden I started the next day. And so I joined in, and when my blood hit the earth, my consciousness instantly expanded. I felt it in my whole being. I felt it in my womb, like, oh
Oh,
my
I love
God,
it.
this is natural. This is what I'm supposed to do. So the next morning, they have a gathering every morning where they sing songs and women talk. And this woman showed up from Chicago, and she said she was a psychic medium. And she said she's seen the flower of life coming down from heaven. And the closer it got, she could see that it was a woman surrounded by 12 other women. And each of those 12 women were surrounded by 12 women. And the flower of life came down and it laid on top of the ley lines. And she said it unlocked something. And she said she heard the more women that give their blood back to the earth, the less bloodshed there'll be of men. And
Mm.
I was like, whoa, that just unlocked something for me, because that's what has been taken from us. And that's where that is supposed to go. So I love this conversation. It's changing, it's happening.
Hey, I love that. And I love how she described the flower of life as the women. And, that makes 13. If it's one surrounded by 12, that's the 13. And then repeated that. Oh, that's so cool. I love
Yeah.
that. Because, the flower of life, the original name was the fingerprint of God.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so she's seen these two coming together. I also seen the first time I got to Hawaii, I was at the coast doing prayer and meditation, and I seen this rainbow dragon come in and start circling. It was spiraling in towards me, and when it got closer to me, I could see that each scale on the dragon was a woman clothed in that color. of, the rainbow. It was this rainbow dragon full of women just dressed up. And so last night, I've been on this kick the last couple of days of Anana and researching all this and stuff I didn't know. And I came across this story that talked about the return of the queen, who was this dragon woman of light. And I'm like, oh my God, all these puzzle pieces are coming together right now. The Sophia Code book and the dragons and the light and the women and the flower of life. This is magical.
It is.
I wanted to say too, I have two PDFs. One, Laura Owens, Her Blood is Gold, and then Dragon Time. I forget the author. But Bobby Hemmett recommended both of those books, and this is how I learned about, giving back my menstrual blood. So I have both free PDFs. If anybody's interested, you could DM me, and I can get those over to you. And then I also wanted to say, when I started pouring it outside of my home, I started just focusing on like protection for my family. So I would specifically like do some different mantras and chants in my head as I was pouring it around the perimeter of my home. And I started having these flowers that have never grew around my home start growing. So it just shows that it gives life and its regenerative properties. The stem cells are powerful, and within, with working with the sun, a lot is possible. So yeah, just to give that as well too.
Yes. Yeah. The stem cells, it's crazy. The amount of stem cells, and I'm not sure if it does the same thing as like they say urine as well. If you age it after like 21 days, it like quadruples or something like rapidly increases the amount of stem cells in it, which then promotes healing. So like you can use it on your skin or internally.
Yeah, I would say they're pretty much the same thing. I tell people as well, yeah, your urine is just as powerful in that 21 days. Yeah, it'll amplify times 3 within 21 days.
Oh, it's 3 times. Okay, I couldn't remember how much it was, but I knew it was a lot. So triples the amount of stem cells. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. Is it Tizzle? With the earth, because I've seen this so many times. Many years ago, my cousin was diagnosed with cancer, and I'd already figured out by this time. I said, "What is there anything new growing in your yard?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Flowers, any flowers," because she'd been there for like 10, 15 years. I said, "Anything new come up?" And she's like, "Actually, yeah, I got these little purple flowers that are all of a sudden popped up everywhere." And I'm like, "That's violets. Start eating them." So the land is going to produce everything that your body needs. It is in connection with you. There's no separation.
Yeah, I do believe that. Like if you look around your yard for different medicines, herbs, and things, you'll find what you need.
100. The mother's here for us.
Absolutely. So,
Okay, I gotta go. Thank you for letting me share.
thank you. Have a good day. Love you.
I love you. Thank you for doing the good work. Mwah.
Thanks. Thank you for the heart me. Facts. I live in Appalachians. You can scavenge for about anything. That's awesome. Greetings from Portugal. Hello. Greetings. Yeah, I'm doing well. Okay, so now that we have established that women should probably follow the moon phase or your ovulation during your sacred secretion versus the men who will need to follow their sun sign when the moon enters their sun sign. Thank you for the follow, Foam Zone Fun. Did anybody else have any questions about that? If you are a woman in the chat and you want me to look up your moon phase, drop your birthday down below, or you're going to have to start tracking your period, and so you know when your ovulation date is. And you can do 2 to 3 days on either side of that. So this will be posted on my YT at Truth That Travels with Honeybee. If y'all want to follow me over there, follow me on Facebook at Melissa Lee. In parentheses, it says Honeybee, and it's that same profile picture there. Instagram at Truth That Travels. Lemonade at Truth That Travels. And join the Discord, which is linked in my bio. So is your moon phase the phase that was put on the day you were born? Yes. Yes. So if you let me know your birthday, I can look up your moon phase for you. And that's what I would suggest all women follow, or the ovulation day, which I'm going to see if they coincide. So I'm still experimenting, but from what I can tell from my Kundalini date, as well as Tizzle's Kundalini date, it lines up with the moon phase on the day we were born, within 1 to 2 days. So, Cosmic Pilot. So wait, the sacred secretion is during ovulation. So I've come into new information that women should follow their ovulation cycle. If you're not ovulating anymore, then your moon phase on the day you were born. So I'm still taking information in and experimenting and testing, but if I look back on my Kundalini date, it does line up. So 08 20 2021 08 20 21 moon phase was waxing gibbous about 12 days into the lunar cycle. So about 12 days after the new moon, waxing gibbous. So you'll do about 10 to 14 days after the new moon each month, if you want to do a couple days before and after. You don't suppress your ego, you work with it. Exactly, Dragon. A healthy, balanced ego. They call it the ego death, but it's really just a death to the lower self. You're welcome, Stitch Witch Kimberly. It's a cute name. So I would love for more women to put this to the test and come back with me with their results. That would be amazing. To let me know if it lines up with your ovulation or with the moon phase. So I can take in more data. I will keep track of everybody's. I'm going to write Tizzles down, make sure I have proper data to back this up so that I can, I've been teaching all women should follow their moon and their sun sign, which I don't know. There still could be truth in that. I don't know. Like, for me, I've been connecting with Source during those cycles. So I'm going to keep testing that while I incorporate the ovulation and the moon phase and see. I'm going to journal and, really stay tuned in during those times and see what it brings.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do the same thing, and I'll share my findings with you too, Honeybee.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, the more the merrier. I want to have something that I can look at and say, well, this is true for the majority of women, or maybe it won't be. Okay, so 11/23/68 moon phase is a waxing crescent. So how many days into? Well, that's weird. The first time it hasn't shown me how many days into the lunar cycle it was. Oh, there it goes. 3.5 days into the lunar cycle. A waxing crescent, Tinker. 3.5 days. So 3.5 days after the new moon is your moon phase. So you want to start right around the new moon, maybe a day after, till 5 days in or so. There's definitely something happening during ovulation. Cosmic Pilot, have you ever read Wild Power? And Tizzle, I definitely want those books, but another one I would recommend to you, I just started it, is Wild Power.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know. I'll look into it.
Yeah. Let me see, 5/17, 56. First quarter phase, so about 7.5 days into the lunar cycle for Bella. And then we have Lou, okay, are you, I don't know if that's short for Lewis. Are you a man or a woman, Lou? Let me know, because that's going to determine which one I look up for you, whether it's your sun sign or your moon phase. Male. Okay. So let me look up your... Okay, Miami, Florida. So for men, we're sticking to moon in your sidereal sun sign. So we're going to go to 1968. And I use an app called Stellarium for this. Or I use the website for free. 3/9. I'm just going to put... Oh, you did put the time. 9 a.m. Cool. There we go. And then we find the sun in the sky. And it is in between two signs. Okay, so when it does that, I'm going to go to Google. So it's between Pisces and Aquarius on the Stellarium, like right in the middle. So you're right on the cusp, I'm sure. But let me go ahead and put in Google. I just put in what is the sidereal sun sign for someone born, this date, this location. And it's saying in sidereal, the sun resides in Aquarius. Okay, so you're in Aquarius. And from Stellarium, it's like literally right in the middle. I wouldn't be able to tell you. So yeah, I would go with what Google said. Oh, let me look at that Wikipedia chart. There is a chart on Wikipedia. And you said 3/9/68. 3, so it'd be March. Yeah, it would be Aquarius, according to this chart too. Okay. Hello, Dead Man's Halo. How are you? Good to see you. You're welcome, Bella. What was the book called? Wild Power. Wild Power. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, power. If nobody has any other questions, I'm probably going to be hopping off soon. I actually want to go read more of that book now. It's really good. And yeah, this will be posted on my YouTube. So if you missed it, you can look back at that or any of the other lives. I'm going to probably be doing this topic again on Thursday, and then we're going to move into the Book of Revelation, because I know last Thursday I said we were going to break down Revelation. We're still
Yes,
going to
I
do
was
that.
gonna ask about that. Okay, I'm like, wait, honeybee, because I was at your last live, and I thought we was following the
Yeah,
previous
I
study
know.
time. Okay,
This is
cool.
this people were asking me about the moon calendar, which is going to be out in a few days, and then I actually started my moon cycle today or yesterday, and so this was just on my heart to bring this information back to the females, so that we can, be in alignment. So namaste,
And
TW.
when are you posting the moon phases again?
So I'll be posting the moon calendar. Let's see, what's the date? Probably Wednesday on the
Wednesday,
27th.
okay.
Yeah, I have Wednesday afternoon off, so I'll probably do it then. So
Thank you so much.
yeah, no problem. So yeah, stay tuned. We are still going to go through the Book of Revelation. We're going to break it down esoterically. I just want this information out there for people so they can be following the right thing, and women that want to test the data and get that information back to me. That way I can store it and have comparisons, charts, and things. So I love you guys, and I will see you Thursday around 9:30-ish Central Standard Time.
Yes,
Um,
thank you, honeybee. Love you
Thank you,
always.
Tizzle. Love you. Thank you so much. Um, so yeah, I will see y'all then. Y'all have a beautiful rest of your day. I love you all. Be blessed.